What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we've got some brand spanking new Destiny 2 news, courtesy of the Bungie weekly update that has just gone live, revealing official information. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, what's going on in-game this week? Well, actually a decent amount. So, first of all, the storyline for Season of the Deep actually concluded this week, so make sure to head to the Helm and pick up this week's story quest, and then you will actually get the finale for Season of the Deep. Now, in addition to that, a new fishing rally quest is available from Hawthorne, and a new exotic fish is available to catch on Nessus, so make sure you catch that, and that's going to progress the exotic quest that's currently ongoing. It's set to actually conclude, and finally you're going to be able to catch the third and final exotic fish, and then actually continue the exotic quest from there next weekly reset. Now, in addition to that, guys, we have an all-new Grandmaster Nightfall available, and for the first time ever, it's actually the PsyOps Battleground Moon mission remade into a Grandmaster, and this is arguably the new hardest Grandmaster in the entire game. It is an absolute doozy, but don't worry, I did make a guide going over some incredible loadouts and a bunch of tips to help you guys get it done. The unfortunate part is that even if you can start to overcome it and get your strategies correct, there seems to be a glitch where even if you kill all of the champions, you still get a gold rating instead of a platinum that guarantees you the weapon drop. And what essentially seems to be happening is that Bungie actually didn't bother to go in and change the champion spawns from when this was a normal PsyOps activity. So as you progress forward, champions will just despawn because it didn't matter in PsyOps. And so a champion you won't even see on your screen will despawn somewhere in the background and completely screw over your run. Or at least that's the leading theory as to what the heck is going on here. So there's a little bit of a warning there. Now, moving on from there, guys, outside the game, we had some pretty big drama last week and actually this week. And last week, the servers went down again. So once again, players were unable to access the game, getting kicked out of flawless runs, etc. So, oh my goodness, Bungie had better address this in this week's TWAB because the community is really at a boiling point with these server issues. Additionally, something very weird happened in the last few days. So, a bunch of speedrunners got banned from Destiny 2, and really the tweet that brought this on my radar was this one here. So Faldo, a talented and pretty well-known speedrunner, posted this saying, hey, why the heck did I get banned? And so there was a lot of speculation, did this person cheat, did they not, etc. However, what really caused all the drama to explode was Bungie themselves, because they commented on the situation with this tweet from their Destiny 2 team account, saying, earlier this week, we issued a small number of bans for cheating. If you are unsure of why your account may have been banned, please review our guidelines here. And then they replied to themselves saying, if after reviewing those guidelines you believe your ban this week was an error, please use the appeal form. And so as you can see from the quote tweet ratio, the community did not take this one well. It does seem like an extremely passive-aggressive tweet, like, hey, if you're wondering why you got banned, yeah, read our guidelines, dummy. And this reply from MP Edits really blew up and kind of encapsulates how the community was feeling about this whole situation. You know, oh, you're banned, what did I do? We don't know cheating policy, ooh, ooh, and then just, oh, nap time, I can't reply anymore. And from what I've heard, using the actual appeal process will take months, even for false bans, which have absolutely happened before. In fact, there was a huge incident where a ton of people got false banned around the same time, and Bungie had to come out with a statement and apologize to everyone. So again, false bans are a thing, but everyone is freaking out because, guys, like, this is all happening to the small number of speedrunners when there are actual blatant cheaters running rampant in PvP. You know, people with unlimited ammo heavy that show up every single weekend in trials and never get banned. So everyone's freaking out, and guys, the cherry on top of all of this happened a few days later when, as you can see, The original guy got unbanned. So all this drama, the passive-aggressive tweet from Bungie, and it was a false ban after all. What the heck was that all about? Like, whoever's running the Bungie PR department really needs to, I think, reassess how they're doing things, because they just handled everything so poorly. In any event, let's move on to the brand new information within the TWAB. And guys, our prayers have been answered because the first thing Bungie talks about is the server stability. So first of all, they talk about how last month they spoke about the backend upgrades they implemented to prepare for the year of Lightfall. So they actually did end up releasing a statement from the engineering team previously talking about how they would be taking Destiny offline in preparation for these updates, and that was supposed to improve server stability moving forward, and it frankly did the opposite. However, they do say this work resulted in the successful launch of both Lightfall and the Root of Nightmares, World's First Race. Both performed more smoothly than prior launches, that is true, and we expect that trend to continue for future releases. However, we've identified several issues with those changes that we are working to correct. Next up, they're talking about improving the infrastructure, saying that when gameplay messages from Destiny 2 are received, they're sent to a key service called Claims, which then routes them onto the server that is responsible for your data. This is an essential service for keeping the client and the server in sync during every moment of gameplay. They continue, ahead of Nightfall's launch, a few improvements were made to the Claims service. We made updates to some of its underlying communication technology and made changes that allow Claims to scale out to more servers so that during moments or events of high concurrency, so a new seasonal launch or whatever, the service would make use of those extra resources and avoid getting bogged down. But while the updates achieved our scale goals, we discovered issues around the service's error recovery functionality. So they then go on to discuss that the Claims function is having these issues. It can cause the Weasel and Baboon error codes that a lot of people get, and they do say fixing these Claims issues is the very top priority for our services organization right now, but we must do it very carefully. Done incorrectly, we could unintentionally make stability for players worse or create new issues. This is not a process that can happen overnight, and we must make sure that as we make these fixes, we guarantee that your gameplay messages get routed reliably so that your Destiny 2 experience remains smooth and stable. So here's what they outline for the road ahead. Ongoing, we will continue to make improvements to our production and deployment process to reduce the risk of disruptions for players while reducing our maintenance and deployment downtime windows. Next up, we will also constantly improve our response procedures for incident recovery to bring Destiny 2 back online as quickly as possible, and also this work has been ongoing and will continue throughout this timeline. So mid-season 21, this is update 7.1.5, we will make targeted improvements to our logging and alerting systems, allowing us to diagnose issues more quickly with Claims and related systems. Also, these changes are designed to minimize the risk of further degrading stability while helping us confirm to the effectiveness of fixes further out on the roadmap. Then for Season 22 launch, okay, so they are deploying a large set of improvements meant to improve the self-healing ability of Claims and reduce the odds of us needing to bring Destiny 2 temporary offline when an issue occurs. That's fantastic. And then they discuss more specifically below that how they're going to make that happen. The next main point is that we are also deploying improvements that will help us to make Destiny 2 services even more robust in the future. And then they talk about some ways they're going to do that. And then finally, to reduce the odds of introducing new problems with these changes, we are also updating and expanding our Claims unit tests. This is automated testing that verifies code is behaving the way it should. And then lastly, for the Season 23 launch, based on the results of our 7.2.0 updates and improved logging, we will be targeting deeper and broader architectural improvements to improve the server stability and rapid recovery of Destiny 2, which will include a range of additional improvements. And then finally, they do say, please note that some of these changes will be structural in nature and could introduce additional instability as we initially roll them out, but they're kind of working around the clock, all that stuff. Honestly, I think this is a great response. They tell us exactly, okay, here's what's happening. It's this claims thing. We tried to change it to allow more server stability, to allow more people into the game. And frankly, again, they did for Lightfall. The Lightfall launch was incredibly smooth, but they have these unforeseen consequences and they're working to fix that. Overall, again, this is a great response diving into why all this is happening. The real issue, guys, is that it just came so late. We had to experience so much server instability and so much downtime before this was released. And Bungie really has a way of doing things where they wait until they have this massive statement diving into the inner workings of the game and talking about exactly the road that they're going to use to fix this. And again, that's all fantastic, but I think this could have easily been broken up, and several weeks ago they could have at least released the part about, hey, we found what's happening, it's this claim service and we're working to fix it as fast as we can, and in a couple of weeks or 2 weeks we're going to outline exactly the structure of updates we're going to use to fix this. And then later on, maybe today, we get the road ahead section. Like, instead of releasing everything all at once, break it up and bring us into the loop earlier, Bungie, so that you're not just kind of ignoring us. It's not just radio silence, because that is what's causing all the drama. Everyone totally understands how a game as complicated as Destiny could have some server issues, but when it's radio silence, that is the problem. In any event, it's very good news that Bungie seems to be on top of this. We have like a schedule of when these things are going to be improved. So, moving on from there, guys, we have a new update to fishing coming next week. So Bungie says, starting at reset on Tuesday as part of our Bungie Day celebrations, we will have a new fishing perk, Lucky Week. What does that mean exactly? Well, for 1 week, Nessus, the EDZ, and the Throne World will have a bonus that doubles the exotic fish catch rate. Need to finish up that triumph? Get ready to get on out there, Guardians, and watch for more Bungie Day details coming next week. So that's actually pretty cool, especially because we will have to, as I mentioned earlier in the video, do some fishing next week to catch the final exotic fish. So you'll hopefully get that a lot sooner than you otherwise would, and then you can do the exotic quest. And also remember, for every exotic fish you catch, when you deposit it, it seems to give you a guaranteed exotic armor drop, or at least it has for me. So that's another exciting way to get a lot more exotics, potentially going to be a pretty good way to farm exotics next week just by fishing. Now, moving on from there, we have another Prime Gaming drop, as you can see right here. And then moving on from there, Bungie is actually doing a community emblem competition. They say time has come to flex those artistic skills and win the opportunity to have your emblem design featured in-game. To kick off this year's Bungie Day Giving Festival, the Bungie Foundation and community team are inviting all Guardians worldwide to join in our first ever global emblem competition. The support shown to the Bungie Foundation over the years and the desire to do good in the world is hashtag emblematic of the true nature and spirit of this amazing community. So that's the hashtag you need to do, and here are the guidelines. So you have the nameplate dimensions, as you can see right here. There are no theme or color restrictions. The world is your oyster. Art must be 2D and not animated, and you must have that hashtag emblematic within your submission. And then, of course, you have some more rules that you guys can read right there. So hopefully they pick a pretty cool one. Now, the submission period will be open from today until July 13th, and the winner is going to be announced on July 20th. Now, moving on from there, one more thing I want to talk about that surprisingly wasn't mentioned in the TWAB is the Bungie Day Giving Festival. They released an article yesterday talking about this festival. So it's going to start next week on July 6th. And it's going to go all the way to July 23rd. And essentially, it's going to be a huge charity streaming marathon. So you have a bunch of streamers that are going to participate. And then I think at the very end, it's going to be Bungie themselves. And usually at the very end, when it is Bungie, we get them to reveal some pretty cool stuff about upcoming expansions and so on. Now, in terms of the donation incentives, you can see them right here. So you have $10, $25, $50, and $100 tier levels. And you can see there is a $50 donor bundle and a $100 donor bundle. Now there's also fundraising incentives if you want to stream in support of this. So if you raise $777, you get this fundraiser bundle. And also they have a $1,777 marathon exclusive t-shirt. So those are going to be numbered from, I think, 0 to 777 printed on the back. So that's kind of cool. And additionally, top fundraisers will receive these different rewards from PlayStation, of course, that partnership shining through. And there's more things, including lifetime fundraiser emblems and stuff like that. I'll link it all in the description of this video, guys, if you want to go and check it out. And so guys, there you have it. That is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at @RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.